story time for you. It is the time I got caught lying to my parents. Now, a little background about this story is that it occurred during my freshman year of high school. And this story involves one of my friends and old high school classmate, who I am just gonna call Carly. So back then, and a little bit like me now, I didn't really have many friends, and so a girl at my school was like,
hey, do you want to come to my house so we can go out to eat?
and I was like, oh my gosh, yes! And plus she was like kind of popular, so then I was like, of course. And only if I knew that we were not gonna go eat. So I believe it was a Friday, and I told my mom that a friend had invited me to go to her house. So my mom dropped me off, and we both assumed that they were gonna drop me back home. But nope, that is not what happened. I remember being in my friend's room, and she was like,
you don't use makeup?
And I was like, no, not really. And so she's like,
girl, I need to teach you how to use eyeliner. And
thank goodness she did. That's like one good thing about this friend.
She's fabulous, but she's evil.
So I remember her teaching me how to use eyeliner, and it was really nice, it was really cool. But as the longer we're in her room, I'm getting hungry. I'm like, girl, I thought we were gonna go out to eat. And she's like,
yeah, later.
And at that time, I was like, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. Because in my mind, I was like, okay, my mom's gonna drop me off at your house. We're gonna go eat, and then you're gonna take me back home. Newsflash, that didn't happen.
How could you do this to me?
The original plan was to go to IHOP to eat and come back. Or at least I thought. So then about an hour later, she's like,
are you ready to go?
I'm like, yeah, girl, I've been freaking waiting. And then what happens is we get to her mom's car, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna sit at the front, you know, she's gonna be nice. And then her mom's gonna drive us, and then my friend will just sit in the back. But no, what happened was that friend was driving. I was so nervous. I was so scared. I was never that high school person that was like, I can't wait for my friends to drive, or I can't wait for myself to drive. Like, no, I freaking hated driving, and I still do. She's freaking driving her mom's car. Her mom's not even coming with us. And I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? And she told me,
oh, yeah, my mom's not coming. Didn't I tell you?
I'm like, girl, no, you didn't. I wouldn't have came if it was just gonna be me and you. I mean, I probably would have because, you know, no friends, but still. So we end up driving to the IHOP parking lot. I'm already getting anxiety. My stomach is hurting as we're sitting there in the parking lot. And no offense to you women or young girls that like to talk to different guys, you know, there's a difference between you just want to talk to people and then like actually playing with their emotions. But anyway, so she was like that friend that was always talking to guys and stuff like that. So I really wasn't surprised, to say the least. So we were there, and she was calling this guy and telling him where we're at. She did ask me though if it was okay, and I did say yes, because at this time I was still thinking we were gonna eat. I was like, okay, well maybe, you know, it's just gonna be them two and me, and her mom wasn't gonna allow her to go eat out with the boys, so she needed a friend, you know, I needed to be that third wheel. And you know what, I didn't mind being the third wheel. I didn't really care. I mean, I was hanging out with someone who wasn't my brother, so I was all for it. So that guy ends up coming, and she gets out of the car and she starts talking to him. I don't know what they're talking about, but one thing I really do remember is that it's dark and gloomy out, and it's like sprinkling and stuff. But however many minutes later, we did not get food. So at this point is when she decided to tell me,
oh no, we're not gonna go eat. I just wanted to hang out with him.
no. And so I'm just sitting there in the passenger side. Like, what the heck is gonna happen? What the heck is this night gonna turn into? So then she asks me if it's okay for us to drive across the street, which honestly is just other businesses like Home Depot and Best Buy. So I'm like, sure, why not? But again, if I knew, I would have said no. Peer pressure is real. Say it with me. Peer pressure is real. So I'm like, sure, whatever, you know, it's not like I'm supposed to be home or anything like that. So then we end up driving across the street and we get to the parking lot, and at this time it gets really dark, and she's like,
It won't be that long. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go talk to him.
and in my mind I'm like, okay, whatever, no, she wants to just talk to her little lover boy for about, at the most, 10-20 minutes. But no, it was getting late. I remember it being pitch black dark outside, and of course my phone battery is low, and then my phone eventually dies. It's raining so bad, and I look behind me and I can't even see the car. Like, literally, if they had left to go do it somewhere, it wouldn't have surprised me. I remember looking at the time on her radio, and every 5 minutes I was getting so freaking nervous. I was sitting there all by myself in the dark, in the rain. Eventually, a freaking 45 minutes, if not more, had passed. I don't know what they were doing. All I knew is that I was left by myself, and she left me in her car, actually in her mom's car, to go talk to a boy. She finally comes back after what seems forever, and she's like, hey girl, you know, like, how are you doing? And I'm like, you just left me in your car all by myself, and I still haven't had food, so I mean, I'm not really that great. But of course, I'm like, oh no, it's okay, girl. You know, it's fine. I understand. Because I didn't have a backbone then. So then she decides that we're gonna go back to her house, except, so we're just about to her house. She looks in the rear view mirror. Obviously, it has to be someone she knows. And she's like,
Wait, that car looks like my brother's.
I'm like, what? Like, why? That's when I knew that we were in trouble. So of course, this car is following us as we're trying to go back to her house, and she even tries taking different turns to make sure that this car really is following us, and they were. And it did end up being her brother and her mom. So we finally get to her house, and as we're getting out, her mom is freaking yelling at me in Spanish, talking about how I'm a bad influence on her daughter, telling me that I turned my phone off on purpose so that way they wouldn't know where we were at. And Carly was like, no, mom, look, her phone died, really. And I was like, I'm not that type of person to lie, especially to my friend's parent. But she still wasn't believing me. And Carly got into so much trouble that night. And I know that I was gonna get in trouble too. But what I didn't know is that her mom was not planning to take me home. And let me remind you that this was probably at like 11:30 at night. And I knew that my parents were getting ready to go to bed. If not, they were sleeping already. So then it was me, Carly, and her mom all at the kitchen table. So she told me that I had to call my mom to have her come pick me up. So I called my mom and I was like, hey mom.
Yeah? What's going on? Aren't you coming home soon?
I lied.
Lying? About what?
And at that moment, I was freaking bawling my eyes out. We actually didn't go to eat like I thought. So then I start crying some more, and it got to the point where I had put the phone down because I couldn't catch my breath. And Carly's mom grabs the phone and she looks straight at Carly. Did you see what you did? You made her lie to her mom. She's not like you who lies all the time. Which I don't know if I would say lying, because I honestly thought we were gonna go eat. And let's just say that Carly was grounded for like 2 months from using her mom's car. And to be honest, I was just so glad at that point that she could see that I had no idea that was going on. So she talks to my mom a little bit, and I found out that Carly actually did tell her mom that we were gonna go eat. But since we were gone for so long, she drove with her son to the restaurant and didn't see us. So so they were driving around town looking for us. But because her mom either had to get up early the next day or wasn't able to take me home, my mom actually had to come pick me up. And I literally was so upset and mad at Carly that I just didn't talk to her, and I was quiet and I was just standing by the door waiting for my mom to come get me. And even to this day, I have not talked to Carly. I might have talked to her if it was school related and we had to talk to each other, but other than that, I still haven't talked to her. And when my mom does, I tell her, "Mom, thank you and bye," and then I go to my mom's car, and my mom does not talk to me at all. It was so silent on that ride home. I remember thinking that either she was quiet because she was really pissed at me, or she was just tired and wanted to get home. But I remember going home and my dad was wondering where I was at and everything, and I just wanted to go straight to bed. I just wanted to go straight to my room. I was like, nobody talked to me. But yeah, so that's the end of this story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The lesson to this story is 1, friends that make you lie to your parents are not true friends. 2, don't lie to your parents because they will eventually find out. And 3, peer pressure is real. And if you're going through it right now, please know that the sooner that you're able to stick up for yourself and say no, the better. It is hard, trust me, easier said than done. But the earlier that you're able to do that, the better. Because if you don't learn to do that now, peer pressure is only gonna get worse. And the consequences are gonna be even more permanent. Like I said in my other story time video, I don't really have that much exciting stories to tell just because my life is really boring. But as soon as I can come up with more future videos, I'll definitely record them and upload them. I'm sort of thinking of following Yojo Unicorn's scheduling and doing a story time video once a month until I can't think of any more stories. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Please like this video if you did, as well as subscribe and press the little notification button so you'll be notified every time I make a video. Also, I think it'd be really fun if you comment down below a time that you got caught lying to your parents, or maybe just caught in a lie in general, because I know I'm not the first nor last. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you next time. Bye!